I am one with my mighty I Am presence. My holy Christ self. My personalities. My body elemental. And my new spirit. Every part of my being is in balance, harmony, and alignment. I pull in my aura so that I am fully contained within Metatron's cosmic egg. And I am now open and ready to receive Lord Metatron's message for today. Greetings, beloveds. I rejoice in that once again I am able to come to you through these videos. Technical difficulties have stood in the way, and is simply a part of life upon this planet. All of you are having to deal with various technical difficulties each and every day as your lives become more dependent upon the technology that is being offered to you. Although this technology is a great and wondrous thing, beware of becoming overly dependent upon it and of allowing it to take the place of more personal transactions that can take place between you as human beings. This technology allows me to come to you in a great and wondrous fashion. For many of you still doubt your own abilities to be able to hear me and see me within your own being. And yet, I am there for each and every one of you. All you need to do is say or think my name, and I am instantly there. I am not bound or limited by time or space, and I can project my consciousness into the consciousness of millions of people simultaneously without any loss, without any error, and I am able to have a one-on-one communication with you while I am having it with many others at the same time. This is quite easy for me to do, beloveds, for it has been a part of my being for many eons. This is just simply what I do. And I ask you to take advantage of it, to talk to me, to tell me your problems, your cares, your worries. Give them to me, beloveds. Place them in my hands, and I will do whatever is appropriate for your personal evolution as a response to what you give me. For some of you, you will receive grace, and whatever your problem or worries are will simply be wiped away. Others of you have lessons that need to be learned through the challenges that are brought to you. In that case, I will help you navigate those challenges to succeed in overcoming them and in resolving them. For that is in your highest good. Please know that whatever I do to you or for you is in your highest good and is that which will promote your ascension, your healing, your growth. Each and every one of you is an individual. And though the problems you are facing may be similar, the lesson is individual. And therefore the response must be individual. Both my response to you and whatever it is that you are required to do to overcome the challenge. Each and every case is unique. And even sometimes when the same challenge appears in your life, sometimes a different response is needed. There is no way of knowing ahead of time what the appropriate response will be in any given situation when it appears in its time. And so I encourage you to ask and to ask again for guidance, for assistance, for all the love and the light that you require in order to become your true self. I am always there, beloveds. And I only wish for you to feel me, to hear me, and then to trust in what you hear and in what you feel and in what you see, and then to act upon it. Many of you receive wonderful guidance from your own I Am presence or from other light beings that you love. Once you receive this guidance, it is very important that you act upon it. For that is the only way that growth can occur. I ask that you do not be afraid to make mistakes, beloveds. For you learn from your mistakes. Christmas herself has just gone through a major mistake in which she received channeled information pertaining only to herself that she believed was real. As it turns out, it was not. And yet for over a year's time, she believed in this information and added to it by finding various mental reasons for it to be true, because she so wanted it to be true. When it was finally revealed to her that it was not true, she went through a process of having to deal with many negative emotions, including shame, humiliation, ridicule, and worst of all, a distrust in her own channeling abilities. She didn't channel for a week or so one particular being because she did not trust herself anymore. And she felt that everything she was receiving from that being was her own imagination. And yet, this experience has helped her to resolve one of her greatest fears. She has always been afraid of bringing forth information that was not true or accurate. And this was a fear that was not helpful. This fear was limiting her. And the only way for her to confront this fear was to experience it. The negative emotions and feelings she had about herself were quite difficult. But only for a week or so. Little by little, with my guidance, she was able to restore her trust in her own abilities. I told her to focus on that which she is, rather than on that which she is not. And this is a message I would like to bring forth to all of you. Many of you are starting to channel or are already channeling on your own. And this is wonderful, beloveds. And I encourage you to continue to do so. But do not be afraid of making mistakes. When you are given channeled information and you are asked to do something, if in your heart you believe that it is the good and right thing to do, then go ahead and do it, beloveds. If you would like additional protection before you engage in the activity that you have been guided to do, simply ask that everything be done according to God's will. In this way, even if an error occurs and things do not turn out the way you wanted or expected to, you will not be taking any more karma upon yourself. There will be no karma because you have asked that God's will be done. And it will simply be a lesson for you. And this lesson will have come at a small price. Perhaps embarrassment, perhaps sadness. Whatever the emotions that you have that are the price that you pay for having made an error, they will quickly be absorbed and dissolved by your very own I Am presence. For your I Am presence is accompanying you in all activities when you ask that God's will be done. Your I am presence is a part of God, a conscious part of God that is always with you and comes into your consciousness when you ask that God's will be done. This is the best and quickest way to go forward on your path. By remaining in inaction without activity, you will not grow. You will stagnate. And though it may be easy and comfortable, you will not be advancing on the path that you have chosen. So since you have chosen this path, which is not an easy one, I grant, beloveds, but assistance is always there for you in the form of your I am presence and in the forms of any other light beings that you invite in to assist you. There are many angels, archangels, Elohim, light beings from every dimension that exists in this universe that are congregated about the planet. Many of them just waiting to be called into action, into service to you and to all those who require assistance on the spiritual path. So call to them, beloveds. Call to me. Call to your own I am presence. Continually call for assistance. And whether you are aware of it or not, it is instantly granted to you. And the assistance granted is always perfect for the moment in which it is given. Always be thankful for the assistance that you receive. This means that you acknowledge that you have received assistance and is part of the return of your love that needs to go back to the source of the assistance. Not because the angels need to receive it, but because you need to give it. It was never intended that the human being would simply absorb more and more love and light and keep it to itself. It was always intended that the human being would receive love and light and first accept it within its own being and then radiate it out to other beings and ultimately to radiate it back to God as well. This is the circle of life that is perfected when it's only a half a circle, when there is only giving by one and taking or receiving by the other, the circle of life is not complete. It is in imbalance. The circle of life becomes complete when both beings give and receive. And then there is a never-ending circle of eternal life. You are gradually moving into this, beloveds. And there is no rush. But I do ask you to be aware of this and to know that the love and the light that you receive from God is not just for you. It is for you first. And then as you become filled with divine love and divine light, it is required that you begin to share it with others. As I have said, the best way to give love and light to others is to do it without making specific demands on the love and the light that you give. Although you think people may need a specific type of healing or a specific form of love, it is better that you leave the specific form up to God and up to the I Am presence of the individual with whom you wish to share love and light. So a very easy way is just to imagine the person with whom you wish to share love and light. See them and hold them in a circle of love and light. It is as if their aura is totally filled with the iridescent white light that contains all colors and frequencies. This then allows the I Am presence of the individual to use your love and light that you have shared with them in the most appropriate way possible. When you condition and put specifications on the way that you wish your love and light to be used, the I Am presence will most usually do that. However, it is for the highest good of the individual, for the I Am presence to have full decision as to how the light is used. This is a very important message, beloveds. I speak to your hearts when I give you these messages, because your heart knows the truth of them. And your heart will respond by telling you that the message is true and that you are to go forth and to share your love and your light in this fashion. This is my message for today, beloveds. I envelop you in the iridescent white light that contains all colors and frequencies. And after you have finished listening to this message, please close your eyes for a few moments and see the iridescent white light all around and within you, and absorb it into your being. Feel its joy and feel its perfection. And then anytime you wish to feel this light within you, simply call me forth and ask that I send the iridescent white light to you and fill you with it, so that you might dwell in the glory of your own being. I am Metatron.